Good afternoon, fellow traders. It's Black Coffee Trader coming at you with a daily recap on Tuesday, January the 27th. And I tell you, have you ever been in a position where it seems like whatever you do just goes wrong? That's exactly how I feel this week with my Apex accounts. Suffered about a $330 loss or so on my Apex accounts today. Green on Take Profit Trader, green on Lucid. Not by much on Lucid, but only took a couple trades. Yeah, just man, I'm just not seeing things right. Nasdaq was going higher today, and for some reason I just didn't want to believe it. There were some nice trades. There was a nice setup there, nice setup there. Those could have been nice longs. Both of those would have been nice longs to take, and I don't know. I just didn't see it. I feel stupid looking back at the market today, but I spent the day really kind of looking to short the Dow Jones. I think I went short somewhere here. We'll look at that here in a minute. And also I was shorting on the Russell. Whoops, I'm on an eval here. I did take a couple eval trades. On the Russell, yep, I got trapped short here. I got trapped short there. Anyway, is what it is. We'll dive into the trades and go from there. Let's take a look at TradeZella first. So here's today, if this thing can load. Down $6,000 today, 63, 61.80. That is correct. Only 36% win rate, 0.4 average win to loss. Just simply not good. We're down about 10 grand for the first 2 days this week. Boy, Tuesdays this month have been no bueno. No bueno. We had about a $10,000 loss day on Tuesday the 13th. We had a $7,000 loss day on Tuesday the 20th, and we have a $6,000 loss day on today. I guess the positive is the losses are getting less. Maybe by the end of the year we'll be down to green on Tuesdays. So we'll see. Anyway, I think it's going to make more sense if I just look at show you the trades here on the charts rather than going through TradeZella. I do want to show you this. This is kind of where we're at for the week. Apex, we're down about 500 per account, which stinks. Lucid, we're up a couple hundred, and Take Profit Trader, we're basically break even, down $22 after 2 days. So anyway, focal point has got to be on getting our Apex accounts back in the right the right direction, so to speak. Let's start with first trade of today was on the Dow Jones, and I took a trade this morning pre-market. I missed a trade exactly like this earlier in the week. It was either yesterday or maybe it was last week. Break and retest of prior day low on the Dow Jones. Beautiful setup pre-market. Just move over so you can see it. So we had this downtrend, testing the prior day low, broke through it, and that's where I took the entry, took it short there. Beautiful trade. That was the only trade on Take Profit Trader, up $123. I did take profit on most of the contracts here a little bit early as we got to the daily 20. But again, it was pre-market, and I was like, I'm going to get out with 2R. I was able to keep my stop pretty tight. So not a big position, but ended up being a nice trade. Kind of targeting some of these lows, which I got out there right around the open. So I'm happy with that trade, and that was a one and done on those accounts. I may have traded them some more had I not gotten into a bad situation with the Apex account. So that was that. Now let's go to Lucid, and then we'll follow up with Apex. Lucid, let me think. I think this was a Lucid trade right here. Yep, this was a Lucid trade, a really nice break and retest to the upside. So the nice thing here is I traded the downside very well and then traded the upside very well on Take Profit on Lucid on the Dow Jones, but that was pretty much it. I did have a loss on, I think, gold. And by the way, look at gold. I mean, what a move. 5,200, no, 5,220, almost 5,228 is where the high is sitting at end of day. What a move on gold. And this morning, I was looking at this break and retest to the upside, looking for a break and retest of prior day high. Again, kind of like I think it was yesterday, had the right idea, maybe it was last week, but had the right idea on gold and just got it at the wrong time. And again, size probably a little bit too big. Let's go into the morning. But Right here was in with 2 contracts. I was looking for this break and retest of prior day high to hold, and it just simply didn't. We had some wiki action, and right there was really the entry point. That was the spot to get long. Had I gotten long there, we would be singing a different tune today, because we had just a crazy, crazy, crazy run here. Gold has just been on a tear. I mean, it's just, I mean, I have not seen anything like this. I've only been trading for about a little over 2 years, but I mean, going back into December, it has just been nothing but a rocket to the upside. Like, there's just no pulling back to speak of. So it's just, I guess we'll see where this thing's going. But was in the right trade there, just at the wrong time. Right idea, wrong time. And again, that's the thing with trading. We get paid for being right on direction and being right on the time simultaneously. That's what makes trading difficult. But anyway, so that was a $150 loss on the Lucid accounts, and then I got that back on that Dow trade that we looked at here just a minute ago. So now let's go to Apex. There was a winning trade here on Apex in the afternoon as we rejected these highs. Patiently waited for this EMA cross to occur, kind of setting up the short. Took it here, got out right there, was kind of targeting these highs, got out with half of my position, and then just moved the stop to just under break even. Unfortunately, got stopped out, and we continued to roll, but really wouldn't have done much unless I would have left the stop at the highs. Could have, but at this point in the day, when I took this trade, I was almost out of daily drawdown, so to speak. Nothing on NQ. I took a couple of shorts here on the Dow Jones and a long. So here I was looking for a short to the downside, got out of that trade, just killed it, re-entered that trade, again out for a loss, and then here I had a small win. I got in at about the same time as I got into this Lucid trade. Actually, was a little bit ahead of that, but got into this break, and these 2 shorts down here were not playing, so kind of made a sad face there. That's very appropriate, very, very appropriate. We need to have a tongue sticking out there. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of how that felt. Anyway, but as this rejected and we went higher, I took the long. And at this point in the day, I had very little drawdown left. I did change my drawdown to 350. I'm not sure if it took, because I would still be able to place trades, and I'm at like 338 to 370 as my losses. But anyway, it might still be set at 400, but I knew I didn't have that much drawdown left on the day, and so I really didn't want to give it much room. I couldn't give it much room, and we moved higher, and we had this pullback. I was really targeting these highs with this move, and I finally just killed the trade right there just to get some profit. Ended up being like a $20 profit, but unfortunately it came right back down to my entry, kind of wiggled there a little bit, and then we had the move. And thankfully at that time I was in with my Lucid accounts, but just kind of chickened out of that trade and was really handicapped because of my daily drawdown limits. But anyway, I picked the right trade. Again, this is just what I said at the outset of the video here. These accounts feel cursed this week. They just do. They just flat out feel cursed. Russell, man, how, here looking for a break and retest short, enter right there at the bottom, and we just have this, I call them these, I'm terming this creeping losers, where I get into a trade and it just kind of teases you. You get into a losing position almost immediately, and it just kind of like it goes and then it pulls back, and it kind of goes and it pulls back, and it just kind of keeps going against you, and you're like, well, maybe it'll go, and you just hold on to it, and before you know it, you're stopped out for a full loss, $150 there, and I think this one as well, $100 loss there. But creeping losers. When I get into a position like this, I have to stop doing this. When I get into a trade and I just immediately get into a loss and it just starts to do that creeping against you, I gotta just cut it. I gotta cut it. And if I cut it early and it ends up going in my favor, I can always get back in. This is something where I do a lot of damage to myself this way. The other thing here, this wick should have been a sucky arrow, but that wick should have been a kind of a reminder that, hey, maybe it's not the right time to get short looking for downside. What I was looking for here is a break and retest of, you guessed it, prior day low. I love this trade, and I liked it too much, and it cost me. And then in the afternoon, or I think it was afternoon, lunchtime, about lunchtime or so, 1 o'clock, We finally broke below this level. It got in again, and we started to hold in profit, came back against me, and this was one of these creeping losers again. Just kind of, gave you hope that maybe it'll turn around. But nope, we go all the way up, and I get stopped out. Again, looking for a break and retested prior day low, did not happen. And the other thing that I was aware of this, I was aware that I'm getting in at kind of this double bottom low. And I knew that. And I thought, man, if this goes against me, I need to kill it. Well, it went against me here a little bit, and a little bit turned into a lot. So this is bad. This is just bad. That's bad trading. It's bad, not bad trading, it's bad trade management. And so, beating myself up a little bit. It is what it is. I just have to work on that. It's a weakness of mine, and I have to recognize that. CL, creeping losers. I have to put that in the bank and keep that. And if I see myself getting into a creeping loser, I have to cut the position. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, those were the trades of today on the Apex accounts, and just a couple trades on the other ones. But, we ended up with a losing position. And, NQ, once again, just move up and go sideways. I was looking for the rollover, and I think too the last recently we've seen this morning move up, and then we have a pullback in the afternoon. We didn't get it this afternoon. We had to get a little bit, but we really just kind of consolidated. I mean, this is really just a consolidation range in the afternoon. So you're either part of this move or you pretty much were done for the day. And I didn't partake of that. Pretty sad I missed it, but anyway, it is what it is. I've just the last couple of days, my head's not been screwed on right when it comes to Apex accounts for whatever reason. I really can't put a finger to it, but so it goes. Anyway, we'll see where this thing goes. The other thing, too, to point out, notice how the Dow Jones is trading under VWAP. That's been going on the last couple of days. We're trading below VWAP, and so I'm kind of looking for shorts. We have, breaks and retest of prior day lows setting up. Those are some trades that you kind of look for that. And at the same time, NQ is trading above VWAP pretty much the entire day. So was ES. ES was trading above VWAP pretty much the entire day. And so that's another thing I need to pay a little bit more attention to, is when the stronger indices, NQ and the ES, are trading above, being a little bit careful on looking for these aggressive short plays on the Russell or on the Dow Jones. Now, the Russell was just kind of choppy today, not really good. But anyway, the bigger picture there was that Dow Jones, had a successful trade in the morning. And I think that kind of created an extra bias that, hey, we're probably going to break down. And we really didn't. And, the proof was in the pudding if you looked at NASDAQ and you looked at that and said, hey, this market's pushing higher and it's holding. We're strong. We're above VWAP. We're holding this level. So again, just critiquing. I'm not complaining. This is me at the end of the day critiquing. Where did I make the mistakes? What did I do wrong? So anyway, we'll try to push back out of it. I'm happy that again, we're holding this drawdown on the take profit accounts. It's $900. We got 1,200 in drawdown on the Lucid accounts. I'm really happy with that because of where those accounts were at one time. I nearly blew these accounts, and getting them back, that's really good. I don't like the fact that I've lost a bunch of drawdown on the Apex accounts, but it's enough that we can easily survive, and I do not plan on blowing these. I plan on being careful, trading my plan, maybe sizing down a little bit over the next couple of days. That's the other thing worth pointing out. I have noticed when we have FOMC week, I sometimes do not have very good weeks. And this is FOMC week. I think that's tomorrow, actually. Pretty sure it's tomorrow. So I've got to take that in consideration as well. I don't want to have that as a kind of a prerequisite that, oh, it's going to be a bad week because it's FOMC week. That's not the point. The point is I know that I've struggled in the past, and so I think maybe sizing down the rest of the week, especially on these Apex accounts, and getting some wins. I'm not really worried about getting the accounts, back to green on the week. I care about that, but if the focal point is just getting back to green, then you're going to be sizing. I'm going to be sizing up too much and probably creating a bigger problem. So it's just kind of my viewpoint going into the next couple of days. So anyway, enough of my rambling. Hopefully you guys had a better day than I did today. And let me know how you did. Let me know how you did in the comments. Appreciate that. Also, just want to say thank you for supporting the channel. The Take Profit Trader deal is still going on. You'll see that pop up here in a minute. Take Profit Trader 40% off. And then Lucid is out with a 40% discount on any eval. You'll see that pop up as well, but code BCT. Apex does have a 90% off sale, but I'm unfortunately no longer affiliated with Apex. They dropped my affiliate membership because I didn't have enough traction, so to speak. So I still love Apex, but I am kind of sad about that. There's the Lucid deal going on, 40% off any eval code BCT, but appreciate you guys helping me out a little bit. It does support the channel just in a small way, but I do appreciate that. So again, thanks for following along. Appreciate you guys hanging out. And if you're not subscribed, please do. Please like and subscribe to the channel. And again, hope you guys had a good day, and we'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care, and so long.